Hello, good afternoon to you. I'm John, and thank you for visiting this website, which I assume you're viewing this film on. My wife died of alcoholism in my arms approximately 6 years ago. It was an absolutely dreadful situation, and if you're in this situation with a loved one, then you really do have my sympathies, because I believe I know what you're going through. In the very early stages, and I do blame myself a lot for this, I had my own business. Business lunches were the normal. In fact, every day, and my wife would join in with these business lunches, and off we'd go, you know. We had an account at the local hotel, so if we wanted any meals or anything whatsoever, we just put them on the tab and pay for them at the end of the month. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Well, the reality of it was I was bringing something into our lives that would eventually kill my wife. When we bought our new house, we decided to put a bar in it. Now, how cool is that, I wonder? Looking back on it, it all seems just a little bit silly. But there you have it. As the years went by, alcohol, or the misuse of alcohol, really took a grip on my wife, and in the end she was drinking bottles of vodka every day. In fact, if I came home without any alcohol for her, and I should explain to you that the doctors said to me that it really made no more difference anymore, because her liver was in such a state that she wasn't going to recover. So I brought the alcohol into the house for her. I freely admit it, because if I didn't, she'd have gone mad. She would have had to have been restrained from harming herself, harming me, possibly setting fire to the house with people in it. Who knows? Because it affected her mind so much. Awful to see this. She went into hospital on a number of occasions, and I was told that she was dying. Can you imagine that? You know, you're the husband or wife or whatever, and you're told that your partner is actually dying. And I remember asking, how long is this going to be before she dies? Oh, about an hour or two. Well, thankfully on the first occasion she didn't die. She came home and we carried on with our lives as best as we could, but it wasn't long before she was having alcohol again, because she was asking the next door neighbour to buy it, or asking our employees to get it for her. So you can't win. You can't make a person do something that they really do not want to do. It's as simple as that. And did I find that out? The second time she went into hospital, I was told again that she was dying, but I won't go through the whole process, but thankfully she didn't. But I have to say to you, on the third occasion, this was over a period of maybe 3 years, she went into hospital, and the doctor said, well, her liver has reversed now, and she will be dead in the next, or today, tomorrow. Now can you imagine, I then go and sit by her bedside, and I'm looking at my wife, knowing that she won't live out the day. I didn't say anything to her, of course. I didn't know what to say. We stared into each other's eyes, and I think she knew. I think she knew that something was going to happen, and it did. I remember the night before, when I put my arms around her. She put her head on my shoulder, and I think then we knew that something was about to happen. Alcohol does dreadful things to the body. Her toenails, fingernails, they all just came off. Her skin became so deteriorated that it would be on the floor. I'd have to sweep it up. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that actually happened. I'd have to sweep her skin up off of the floor. When I used to put her to bed at night, I had to face her away from me because her breath was so bad. Doctors told me that she was dying from the inside. All her insides were going rotten. Changed her completely alcohol. She went from a beautiful young girl to somebody I could barely recognise in real life. When she finally went into hospital, I suppose she survived for 2 more days. During which time, of course, you can imagine how I was. I can remember when she did pass away, I was actually walking around the hospital grounds at the time, and my mobile phone went off, and the nurse saying, "Come quickly because she's dying now." So I ran back to the ward. My wife died in my arms. Alcoholism is dreadful. If you have a partner that's really suffering with this, and they refuse to give up drink, what can you do? When you get married, it's for better or for worse. I don't need to tell you that. I would have looked after my wife for the rest of my life. But I do sympathise with you, and I do hope that reading this website, and perhaps some of the books, some of which I've read by the way, would be of help to you. Anyway, thank you for listening to me. I now try to get on with my life as best as I can, but one thing about all this is the next time I see her, she'll be a lot better than the last time I saw her. Thank you. Bye for now.